Ahsokatano wasn't supposed to be on Coruscant that night. She'd been en route to the Outer Rim when the encrypted signal came through. Fives, a name she barely knew. But his voice was soaked in terror. "They're controlling us. All of us. It's in our heads." The transmission cut out. Ahsoka redirected her ship immediately. Something in his tone, it wasn't madness. It was truth, buried under fear. By the time she landed in the industrial sector, blaster fire echoed through the alley. Clone shock troopers surrounded a single figure. Fives, unarmed, cornered. "Stand down." Ahsoka ignited her lightsabers, stepping between them. The troopers hesitated. She was still a commander, still one of them. Fives collapsed against the wall, gasping. Blood stained his armor. His eyes locked onto hers. "The chips," he whispered. "Inhibitor chips. In every clone. Orders from the Chancellor. We'll kill the Jedi. All of you." Ahsoka's heart stopped. "What are you talking about?" "Tup. He tried to kill his general. The Kaminoans. They covered it up. It's not a tumor. It's a weapon." The troopers closed in. One raised his rifle. "No." Ahsoka threw out her hand. The force surged. The blaster flew across the alley. "Get him to a med bay. Now." The clones didn't move. Their visors were cold, unreadable. Fives grabbed her wrist. His grip was weak. "Don't trust anyone. Not even Skywalker. Not even the Council. The Chancellor. He's been planning this from the beginning." Ahsoka pulled him to his feet. Her mind raced. If what he said was true, the Republic was built on a lie, and the Jedi were already dead, they just didn't know it yet. Ahsoka didn't sleep that night. She stood before the Jedi Council at dawn, Five's data chip clutched in her hand. Mace Windu sat forward. Yoda's ears twitched. Obi-Wan crossed his arms, his expression unreadable. "Inhibitor chips?" Windu's voice was sharp. "You're saying the clones are programmed to kill us?" "Yes." Ahsoka's voice didn't waver. "Fives found proof. The Kaminoans planted them. The Chancellor knows." Silence. Ki-Adi-Mundi shook his head. "Preposterous. The clones have fought beside us for years. They've saved our lives." "That's the point," Ahsoka shot back. "No one would suspect them." Obi-Wan leaned forward. "Ahsoka, these are serious accusations. If you're wrong, I'm not wrong." Yoda closed his eyes. The Force rippled around him. Heavy. Dark. Clouded. "The future is," he murmured. "But feel it I do. A shadow over the clones. Always it has been there." Mace Windu stood. "We need to verify this. Immediately." "There's no time," Ahsoka said. Five said the order could come any day. "If Palpatine knows we're investigating, then we move quietly." Windu's tone was iron. "We scan the 501st first. If the chips are real, we remove them. Then, we confront the Chancellor." Ahsoka exhaled. Finally, they were listening, but she needed one more person on her side. Anakin. She found him in the temple hangar, checking his starfighter. He turned when he heard her footsteps. "Snips. Heard you caused a stir in the council chamber. Anakin, I need you to trust me." Her voice cracked. "The clones. They're not safe." The Chancellor. "Stop." His face darkened. "You're talking about Palpatine again. He's been nothing but a friend to us." "He's been lying to you." Anakin stared at her. And, for the first time, she saw doubt flicker in his eyes. The medical bays of the Jedi Temple worked around the clock. Clone after clone lay on operating tables. Surgeons, Jedi healers, and trusted medical droids carefully extracted the inhibitor chips embedded deep within their brains. It was delicate work. One wrong move, and the clone wouldn't wake up. Captain Rex was the first to volunteer. Ahsoka stood beside him as the droid powered up the scanner. Rex didn't flinch. "If this is real," he said quietly, "then we've been slaves this whole time." Ahsoka squeezed his shoulder. "Not anymore. The surgery took 2 hours." When Rex opened his eyes, he looked different. Lighter. Free. "I remember now," he whispered. "The mission. The protocol. We were supposed to kill you. All of you." Word spread fast. Within days, entire battalions demanded the procedure. The 501st, the 212th, Cody, Bly, Wolf, they all wanted out. But across the galaxy, not every Jedi moved as quickly. Some hesitated, some didn't believe, and some never got the chance. On Megiddo, Ki-Adi-Mundi's troops turned on him before the order could reach them. On Felucia, Aayla Secura barely escaped with her life. The chips were activated remotely, sporadically, without warning. Palpatine was testing the system. Mace Windu stormed into the Chancellor's office, flanked by Kit Fisto and Anakin Skywalker.
"We know about the chips," Windu said coldly.
"We know about the contingency orders." Palpatine's smile didn't falter. "My dear Jedi, I have no idea what you're talking about." "Don't lie to us," Anakin growled. His hand hovered near his lightsaber. "Fives died trying to expose you." For a moment, the Chancellor's eyes flickered yellow. Then he laughed. "You've made a terrible mistake, young Skywalker. The Senate will not stand for this." Accusation. Outside the office, clone shock troopers began to surround the building. Palpatine's hand hovered over the holocom. One word. That's all it would take. Execute Order 66. The transmission shot across the galaxy in seconds. Utapau, Kashyyyk, Felucia, Cato Neimoidia, Megiddo. Every battlefront, every clone, every Jedi. But nothing happened. On Utapau, Commander Cody lowered his blaster. Obi-Wan turned, confused. "Sir, one of the troopers asked. "Did you hear that?" Cody's jaw tightened. "I heard it, and I'm not following it." On Kashyyyk, Commander Gree raised his weapon toward Yoda, then stopped. His brothers did the same. The chip was gone. The voice in their head silent. Yoda ignited his lightsaber anyway, just in case. But Gree dropped his rifle. "We're with you, General." Across the galaxy, the same scene played out. Clone after clone refused the order. Some didn't even hear it, their chips already removed. Others felt the command try to take hold and fought it off. The Jedi lived. Back on Coruscant, Palpatine's face twisted in rage. Impossible. Mace Windu ignited his lightsaber. Purple light filled the office. "It's over, Chancellor. You've lost." Palpatine rose from his chair. His robes fell away. Lightning crackled between his fingers. "Lost?" His voice warped, deep and venomous. "I am the Senate. I am the Republic. I have ruled this galaxy for 1,000 years, and I will not be undone by you." Anakin stepped forward, his blue blade igniting beside Windu's. "You lied to me," Anakin said, voice shaking. "You used me." Palpatine's yellow eyes locked onto him. "I gave you everything, Skywalker. Power, purpose, and you throw it away for them?" Anakin didn't answer. The Senate building became a war zone. Captain Rex led the charge. Behind him, the 501st, the 212th, and every freed clone battalion on Coruscant. Their blasters were raised not at the Jedi, but at the shock troopers still loyal to Palpatine. "For fives!" Rex shouted. "For our brothers!" The shock troopers hesitated. Some lowered their weapons. Others didn't. Blaster fire lit up the corridors. Inside the Chancellor's office, Palpatine unleashed his full power. Lightning tore through the air, slamming into Mace Windu. The Jedi Master blocked it with his saber, but the Force drove him back. Anakin struck from the side. His blade cut through Palpatine's desk, splintering it in half. Kit Fisto moved in from the other angle, his green saber a blur, but Palpatine was faster. He spun, robes whipping around him like a storm. His lightsaber ignited crimson, crackling with dark energy. He struck Fisto down in one brutal swing. The Jedi collapsed, lifeless. "No!" Anakin screamed. Windu pressed forward, his strikes relentless. Palpatine parried each one, his face twisted in fury. "You cannot defeat me, Jedi. I am the darkside." Outside, the clones breached the outer office. Rex kicked open the door, his DC-15 trained on the Sithlord. "Step away from the Jedi." Palpatine turned, eyes blazing yellow. "You dare?" His voice was venom. "You are mine. You were made to serve me." Rex didn't blink. "We were made to protect the Republic, and you're not it," he fired. The bolt struck Palpatine in the shoulder. The Sith Lord staggered, snarling in pain. More clones poured in, surrounding him. For the first time, Darth Sidious looked cornered. But then he smiled, and the room exploded in lightning. The lightning stopped. Palpatine stood in the center of the room, breathing hard. His face was pale, twisted. The mask of the kind Chancellor was gone. Only the Sith remained. The Jedi Temple was quiet now. Too quiet. Ahsoka stood in the council chamber looking out over Coruscant. Smoke still rose from the Senate district. Protests filled the streets below. The people were angry, confused, afraid. They didn't know who to trust anymore. The Republic had lied to them. The Jedi had hidden the truth. And now, with Palpatine dead, the galaxy was spiraling into chaos. Anakin entered behind her, his footsteps echoing in the empty chamber. "The Outer Rim is breaking away," he said, voice heavy. "Ryloth, Onderon, Mon Cala, they don't trust the Republic anymore. And, honestly, I don't blame them." Ahsoka turned to face him. Her expression was tired, worn. "So what do we do?" Anakin crossed his arms. "The Council wants to rebuild the Senate, elect a new Chancellor, go back to the way things were. But that's what caused this," Ahsoka said, her voice sharper now. Palpatine didn't rise because the system worked. He rose because it was broken, because no one was watching, because everyone was too comfortable. Anakin nodded slowly. "So we fix it. How?" Ahsoka gestured to the city below. "Half the Senate still thinks Palpatine was right. They're calling us traitors, separatist sympathizers. Some systems are already forming their own governments. Then we show them we're not the enemy." Anakin stepped beside her. "We prove that the Jedi aren't here to control anyone. We're here to protect, to serve." Ahsoka looked at him. "And if they don't believe us?" Anakin's jaw tightened. "Then we keep trying until they do." Over the next weeks, Ahsoka and Anakin became something the galaxy hadn't seen in a long time, symbols of hope. Not just warriors, not just Jedi, but voices for change. They traveled from world to world. They spoke to senators, to governors, to farmers and factory workers. They didn't hide behind the council. They didn't wait for orders. They listened. On Ryloth, Ahsoka stood beside Cham Syndulla in front of thousands of Twi'leks. The war had devastated their world. The Republic had promised liberation, but all they'd gotten was occupation. "We failed you," Ahsoka said, her voice steady. "The Jedi failed you. The Republic failed you. We were so focused on fighting the Separatists that we forgot who we were supposed to be protecting." Cham watched her carefully. "And now, what's different?" "Now we do better." Ahsoka met his gaze. "The Jedi will no longer serve politicians. We serve the Force and the people, if you'll let us." Cham was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded. "One chance, Tano. That's all you get." On Mandalore, Bo-Katan Kryze united the clans under one banner. She didn't ask for Republic aid. She didn't bow to the Senate. Instead, she forged an alliance with the Outer Rim worlds, a coalition dedicated to protecting themselves from future tyrants. Ahsoka stood beside her as the Mandalorian warriors raised their blasters in unison. "We are Mandalore," Bo-Katan declared, "and we stand with those who stand for freedom." On Naboo, Padme Amidala addressed the Senate. Her voice was calm, but her words were fire. "We cannot go back to the way things were," she said. "The office of the Chancellor gave one man too much power. It allowed Palpatine to manipulate us for decades. We need a new system. A Council of Worlds. Equal representation. Equal voices. No single leader. No single point of failure." The chamber erupted in debate. Some senators supported her. Others called it madness. But the seed was planted. Anakin watched from the gallery, his heart heavy. Padme had kept their marriage secret for so long. But now, standing in front of the galaxy, she was risking everything for a better future. He was proud of her and terrified for her. Months passed. Slowly, painfully, the galaxy began to heal. The Clone Wars officially ended. The Separatist Council surrendered. Systems that had fought for years laid down their weapons. But trust took longer. The Jedi Order restructured. No more generals. No more command over clone armies. They returned to their original purpose. Peacekeepers, mediators, protectors of the innocent. The clones were given a choice. Some stayed with the Republic military. Others retired, finding homes on distant worlds. Captain Rex became an advisor to the new government, ensuring that clones would never be used as slaves again. Ahsoka trained a new generation of Jedi. She taught them what the Council had forgotten: humility, compassion, and the courage to question authority. Anakin stayed close to the temple, but his role changed. He wasn't just a warrior anymore. He was a bridge between the Jedi and the people. And slowly, he began to heal from the darkness that had almost consumed him. Padme gave birth to twins, Luke and Leia. In secret, away from the political chaos, Anakin held them for the first time and wept. Not from fear, not from visions of death, but from hope. For the first time in years, the future felt possible. And then, everything changed. A transmission arrived at the Jedi Temple, encrypted, ancient. The signal had been traveling through space for centuries, finally reaching Coruscant. Obi-Wan brought it to the Council. "It's from the unknown regions," he said quietly. "A distress call. But the language, it's Sith." The room fell silent. Yoda closed his eyes, reaching out through the Force. His face darkened. "Gone, Palpatine is," he murmured, but ended. "The Sith are not." Anakin stepped forward. "What do you mean? We killed him. We destroyed his acolytes." Yoda's ears lowered. "One more. There is, hidden, waiting. Stronger than Sidious, this one may be." Ahsoka's blood ran cold. "Where?" she asked. Yoda opened his eyes. They were filled with ancient dread. Exegol. Anakin and Ahsoka exchanged a look. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun.